Today I'm going to run through everything you need to know about the new ULTRON Battle Matrix game mode, or as some people like to call it, the TFT Auto Chess game mode. The mode can be a little confusing if it's your first time playing, especially since there's no tutorial or any videos to how it works. So I'm going to run through everything you need to know, from the rules, the round processes, the hero targeting logic, and the modules. When you first start the match, you're given a selection of random heroes, 6 tanks, 6 DPS, and 6 supports. So at the start of the match, you're not able to pick the exact heroes you want on your roster. However, you are able to swap out of these heroes with another set of random heroes to select from, even from ones that aren't in your initial hero pool. When it comes to building out your roster, there's something you need to understand. Based off the heroes you select, you're not only picking that hero and their abilities, but you're also adopting that hero's targeting logic. Each hero has a different targeting logic, which can be divided into 3 different categories. One, which is prioritizing targets with the highest maximum HP. This actually only includes one hero, which is Wolverine. He's the only hero in this game that can prioritize high HP targets, which would be tanks. 2, prioritizing targets with the lowest maximum HP, which would be dive heroes like Venom, Captain America, duelists like Black Panther, Magic, Spider-Man, Psylocke, Scarlet Witch, and Black Widow for some reason, and the third targeting system, which will be targeting the nearest enemy. So that includes every other hero I didn't name, including every single strategist. So keep that in mind when trying to formulate your team and your lineups, as you might want to have someone that attacks the enemy team's backline, but you chose characters like Iron Fist, Star-Lord, and Winter Soldier, instead of characters like Captain America, Spider-Man, and Psylocke. Now that you understand how the hero selection and the hero logic works, you need to understand how each round unfolds. Each round has 3 phases. The draw phase, which is all about the modules, the deploy phase, which is all about setting up your pieces into the proper formation, and the battle phase, which is where all the action goes down. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the first phase. The modules act as perks for your heroes. These perks can be anywhere from enhancing your team's capabilities, like their overall HP or damage, or increasing their fire rate, or suppressing your enemy team's damage, healing, and fire rate. These perks can be broken down into 4 subgroups, which are called protocols. There's the Vanguard protocol, the Duelist protocol, the Support protocol, and the last protocol is the Equilibrium protocol. Each protocol is meant to assist a certain role. So of course, the DPS protocol is going to assist any DPSs that you have in your lineup. Let's say you're running a lineup without any tanks, you're not going to want to invest any perks into the tank protocol. Instead, you're probably going to focus more on buying modules that assist your DPSs and supports. The 4th protocol, which is called the Equilibrium protocol, works for every single hero that is on your field. Now here's the list of every single module for every single protocol, but I'm not going to get into that because it's pretty boring, to be honest, just a bunch of numbers. Now let's talk about the module that is the most important because it is the most fun, the Strengthen module. This is an exclusive module that enhances specific heroes. Now, each hero has a maximum of 2 Strengthen modules, and you can only equip a maximum of 2 modules per hero. These modules can be anywhere from decreasing the amount of ult charge you need for your ultimate, to reducing the cooldown for any given ability, or something wacky like Venom where he gets bigger after using his ultimate, or Rocket where he has 4 respawn beacons, or Black Panther where he pops 4 ultimates at the same time. And here's a quick list of every single Strengthen module that's in the game, so you can pause to see the one for your favorite hero. And if you want me to go in depth and like do a tier list on every single one of these Strengthen modules, which is like the really fun part of this mode, let me know down in the comments. Now the way that you obtain these Strengthen modules isn't the same as the regular modules, whereas the regular modules you get them every round and you can re-roll them. The Strengthen modules are only able to be obtained in the 1st round, 6th round, 11th, 16th, and 21st round. Not sure if there's more than that, but there's clearly a pattern, as these are the rounds where you fight the Galactica bots. In the 1st and 11th round, you're only able to select 1 Strengthen module, and in the subsequent ones, you're able to select 2. Now we're still talking about modules. I know this is a little long, but trust me, the modules is the most important part. The rest of the rounds don't really matter too much. They're not that hard to understand. But another thing about modules is they have rarities. There's the basic ones, which is the common, the epic modules, and then there's the legendary modules. To buy the basic modules, you need tokens. You get tokens every single round, 15 every single round, and then plus interest. So after the first round, it's like +1 interest, and then the next round is like +2. You'll know how much tokens you have, you can see it, and you'll also know how many tokens you'll get the next round because it'll say it right next to your token total. So you can do some quick calculations to figure out how much tokens you might need to save for the next round. The best way to understand how to get rare modules is simply by looking at your protocols. When you first start, your protocols are at 0, but after buying a certain number of modules, like your first 10, the chances of you getting a higher tier module increase for that specific protocol. So in this example, I have a team of all supports. So I buy modules for only the support protocol. Once I buy over 10 modules for that specific support protocol, my chances of getting a purple starred protocol increase to 4%. As you can see, I still have a 0% chance of getting a legendary module, but if I increase my support protocols to 20 out of 20, you'll see that I now have a 1% chance of getting a legendary module. Here's a little table that another creator made. It shows a number of sets of protocols that you would need to unlock a certain percentage, whether that be epic or legendary. To my understanding of it, even though it's an 8% chance, it's a 50-50 chance that you get a support module or an equilibrium module for this example, because both of them have been upgraded. I also think that even though it says 4 and 8%, I believe that's per module card that's on the screen. So each card has an 8% chance. So after you pick your modules, you go into the next phase, which is the deploy phase. In this phase, you can be able to rearrange your troops to any type of formation you want. So you can put your healers in the back, put your flankers to the side, or in fact, put everyone to the side in the left corner if you want. Who cares? In fact, you can still buy modules in this phase. In fact, you can buy modules in every phase. However, if you buy modules during the battle phase, they will not take effect in that phase. They will take effect in the next phase, which will be in the next round. Also in the lineup phase, you can use this time to look at your opponent's lineups. On the right hand side, you can select their name and see what characters they have and the formation that they're running. On the top right of the screen, it tells you what character you're facing that round. So you can take a quick look at your opponent's formation and look for any weaknesses. But let's talk about the final phase, which is the battle phase. This is the phase where you control your Ultron bot, you're able to free flight, influence the battlefield by damaging the enemy, and also healing your team. I like to spend this time fooling around with the enemy Ultron. This is also the phase where the hero targeting logic kicks in, and from what I saw, it's interesting. Like Hela, she'll use her bird whenever her health gets below like 30%. Iron Fist will always use the block whenever it's off cooldown. Groot and Penny will just put down their walls and nests wherever. And Rocket will just sit there and do nothing. I swear, I've never seen him use his left shift. He just stands there. But yeah, the AI will mostly just use their abilities whenever. Loki will pop his runes pretty much at the start of every match, and Hawkeye will use all of his ability arrows first before using his regular arrows. Of course, team ups and the skins you have equipped on your heroes are all going to be in play. When it comes to understanding the rules of the game, there's going to be 6 players in each lobby, and you're going to be paired up against a random opponent each round. Whoever loses in the battle phase will take damage to their HP. Once you reach 0 HP, it's game over, you're done. And the rank you get is determined by the number of players remaining. The entire game mode ends when there's only one player standing. Now, if one player leaves or the number of players to start the round is odd, the odd player out will be forced to play a mirrored lineup of one of the random opponents that are still in the game. Also, to clarify, if you tie a round, both players will lose health points. On the top of the screen, it will tell you what round you are in. The second number will tell you what phase you're in, so it will be the first, second, or third phase. If I look at the top right, it will say the opponent's name, or it will say nothing, which will mean it's going to be a Galactica bot. On the right side of the screen, you can see all the players that are in your lobby, as well as their health points. A green star means that they're on a win streak, and the number next to it tells you how long the win streak was, and a red X tells you that they're on a losing streak. You can also see how many tokens that they have at any given moment, and you can switch this tab to see your own team's lineup, which shows how much damage, healing, and tanking they have done for that round. So now you'll know who on your team is dead weight. Well, that's everything you need to know about the new Battle Matrix Age of Ultron game mode. It's coming out this Friday, May 6th. If you have any other questions about this game mode, let me know down in the comments. I also have a bunch of challenges that I have prepped ready for this game mode. And if a new video is not up yet, make sure to catch me on stream where I'm going to be playing this new game mode. It's MightyRayYT on Twitch. Link is in the description. But until then, I'll see you in another video. Be mighty.